Hello. The first witness I would like to call to the stand is Olivia Lee. Olivia, please no cell phones in the courtroom. Thank you. Hello, Miss Lee. What exactly happened on September 2nd, 2009?
Well, I got up in the morning around 7:30 and I had to use the restroom. Yeah. And then, it kind of smelled after I got out. Okay. It really smelled. In fact, it smelled so bad that I lit all of the scented candles I could find. Even with the candles, though, the smell became too much to handle for both Ozzy and I. So I went shopping and he went rock climbing, saying he'd be back by 1. At 10 o'clock, I arrived back at the house and it was on fire. I immediately called the fire department and they came quickly. Fortunately, the fire only got to a few rooms before the firefighters put it out. With all the commotion going on, I didn't realize how late it was getting, until nearly 4 o'clock. That was when I remembered that Ozzy said he'd be back by 1. I tried calling him several times before I called the police and they came to investigate.
Okay, so do you know the suspected murderer, James Jones?
Oh, yes. I know him quite well. He was living with Ozzy in a movie. The thing is, they didn't get along at all. I witnessed many arguments between them. It wasn't until their fight started getting physical that I decided that Ozzy needed a break. I was the one who suggested that he go to his vacation home for a few days.
Thank you, Ms. Leaf. You may take your seat now. The next witness I would like to call to the stand is Officer Vander Woodson. Hello, officer. You investigated this crime scene, is that correct?
Yes.
And what all did you find in your investigations?
Well, I investigated the house first. The first thing I noticed when I got there is that there were many things knocked over and there were some cracks in the walls. I was curious about that, so I asked Olivia Leaf about it. She claimed that those things had not been there when she left. When I went to go investigate the area that had been burned worse, I found several broken candles on the ground. I didn't find any evidence that the house had been broken into or torched. So my fellow officers and I came to the conclusion that the candles were the cause of the fire. I investigated the area where Mr. Leroy's body was next. There was a lot of blood around this area, especially where his head had been lying.
Okay.
There was a knife nearby, which we discovered to be Mr. Jones's. There was not a trace of blood on it, though. There was an unusually large amount of fallen rocks around the area, not only near the body, but also everywhere within about 5 miles. One fairly large and extremely sharp rock was near Mr. Leroy's head and covered in blood. Then, at the very end of my investigation, some psycho chick came running up to me. I just ignored her. I mean, come on. Everyone knows earthquakes don't happen around here. What a nutcase.
Thank you, officer. You may take your seat now. The next witness I would like to call to the stand is Dr. Gina Savage. Hello, Dr. Savage. What all did you find in the autopsy into Ozzy Leroy's body?
Well, there were many bruises all over his body. They didn't appear to have been caused by a fight, though, because some of them were very small and others were in unusual places on his body. His shoulder was the worst of all. It was not only badly bruised, but there's some broken bones as well. There's also a large cut in his head. I investigated both the knife and the sharp rock covered in blood and compared the shape of their edges to the shape of the cut. I found that the cut was much too wide and jagged to have been made by the knife, but it matched the shape of the rock perfectly.
Thank you, Dr. Savage. You may take your seat now. The next witness I would like to call to the stand is James Jones. Hello, Mr. Jones. Where were you on September 2nd, 2009?
I was at my vacation home in Colorado.
And how far away from Ozzy Leroy's vacation home is yours?
About 25 miles.
Did you ever leave your vacation home on that day?
Nope, not once.
And is it true that the knife found on the crime scene was yours?
Yes, but I haven't seen it since the day Ozzy left to go to his vacation home via someone stolen.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. You may take your seat now.
Stuff on Ireland.
Okay, the next witness I would like to call to the stand is Professor Sasha Sushi.
Oh boy.
Who are you?
I'm the translator.
Okay. So, Sasha Sushi, Officer Vander Woodson claims that you were at the crime scene shouting that the suspect was innocent. Why is this?
Well, sono seismografico, soprattutto di surface wave.
Well, she saw on the seismograph that an earthquake had happened. See, first came the primary or P waves. These can travel through anything under the fastest. And then the secondary or S waves. These are the second fastest, but they can't travel through water. Lastly, the surface waves, they do the most damage because they travel on the surface in an uppy, downy kind of way.
So, what is the relevance?
So the internet was level 5.
Well, this she found was a level 5.0 earthquake because it caused damage at the epicenter.
Please elaborate.
Well, so look at the epicenter. There's no movie. It was a lot of damage in this one. Oh, yeah! You know,
Well, on the epicenter is the center of the earthquake on the surface. Do not confuse it with the focus, which is the point within the earth, where the earthquake started. She used triangulation.
Triangulation?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I took it so to triangulation epicenter and shit was weird and yeah, all the view.
Yes, she took the information from 2 other seismographs and found out how far away the earthquake was. That's from each one. Where they all intersect is where the epicenter is. Using triangulation, she was found almost exactly where the epicenter was, and that to Ozzy Leroy's body, it was very close near it. And the epicenter and the surface waves could have easily caused damage to his dome.
Okay, thank you, Professor. You may take your seat now. And you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, the jury has reached their verdict, and they say that James Jones is...
Innocent!
Thanks for watching CSI Colorado.